Hey, hello again. Welcome to, wow, look at Tokyo Bay here. Hidden in the clouds, that is Haneda Airport. And down there, for the first time in a long time, is the IXEG 737-300. We're about to depart on what I am reliably informed is the busiest airline route on the planet, from here in Haneda to Hokkaido Island to Sapporo to the airport called, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong, Chitose, which apparently derives from the Ainu language, which is, the Ainu are the indigenous people of northern Japan, and they don't look quite Japanese. Many of them are red-haired. Many of them prefer beards, and they were on the islands, at least that part of the Japanese island chain, for eons before Japanese as we know them landed. And the whole culture is very interesting and cool, but apparently the name Chitose derives from an Ainu word, and the Japanese changed it because it sounded a little bit like the Japanese word, I think, for skeletons or bones. So it's been altered since then, but I don't know enough either about Japanese or Ainu to have much to say on the subject, so I ain't gonna. Anyway, this air route is traveled by 8.8 million people a year. That is simply amazing. So we are not going to be flying this in the mighty Saab. We're going to be flying this in a jam-packed 737-300, and in real life they do it in much, much larger planes. I'm rusty as hell in this plane, but I'm eager to get back into it, and I'm eager to get a feel for it, especially since they're going to be updating it in the coming weeks. We've got it set up right now in APU mode, basically in turnaround mode, ready to go. We are fueled, and we are basically prepped to turn around. We're loaded with passengers. We're ready to go. We have quite a big load here. I put our performance figures into the FMC. I'm just getting reacquainted with damn near everything here. We're going to be cruising at 310, so let's operating on the Marshall principle of if you see it, do it, even if it's premature. Let's see now. We can turn our heats on at the moment. We'll be starting shortly. We're going to be pushing and starting shortly. Let's see what we got here on the panel. We appear to have a running APU, and we do. And we appear to have normal power coming off of it, and we do. And we do have enough pressure to start, so that is good. I don't think we really need to turn APAC off. We're down at sea level. It's not too hot. We're fine. We got pressure. We are good. I'm just going to turn our beacon on here. And before we do that, let's just pre-flight and enter our route. We're going to be leaving on, and again, apologies, I can't pop up another window to do this, but we're going to be leaving off of runway 34 left, and we're going to be going out on the Pluto 2 departure. And what that's going to do, I'll give you the play-by-play here. The radio version of it, sadly, is we are going to fly out to the north, we are going to, at 700 feet, start a turn to a fix. This is an RNAV GPS only. Also calls for radar services, which almost goes without saying. This is one of the busiest airports on Earth. So starting about a 90-degree turn, a little bit more than a 90-degree turn at 700 feet, flying 5.4 miles to a fix. Excuse me, flying another 6.1 miles to a 90-degree turn, and then we're going to turn back almost parallel to the runway heading and climb up between 12,000 and flight level 150 to the Sequeado VOR, which is 117.0, and I set flight level 150 because transition levels here are 14,000 feet. Let me just make sure I have that correct in our perf page. Yes, transition altitude 14,000 feet. ISA deviation is 5. We're going to fly on a cost index of 85, which is normal for American Airlines. Already set that to RTO because of the Marshall, if I'm looking at it, principle. And I had to reprogram all of my keys here because all the commands are separate for the 737 and the Saab, and neither one of them works with exassign, so there's always that. Got all my views set up, I think. There we go. That's one that way, one that way. That's a standard wide-angle simming view, and this is more like you'd look at in real life, I think. And that is the view we're going to be using right now. So let's throw in our route. So we're going to go, and I'm going to get used to using an FMC again, which will actually be a bit of a pleasure after using the goddamn Garmin, which is the official name for it. So our origin here is going to be RJTT. I just watched Ty Schuff, Cat Strader, whose stream I highly recommend, struggle mightily with an Embraer 175, forget which one. It's not the SSG one, it's the other company. Struggle with their FMC, which seemed like a bit of a dog. This is not a dog. It has some bugs in it. They're working on the VNAV, they're tweaking it, they're adding new pages to it, but this is a serious piece of work done by some very serious people. So we're going to RJCC. Chitose is a very interesting airport in that it is 4 runways, but it's actually only 2 on a civilian side and 2 on military side. And it's like Salt Lake City. It kind of shares its space. Okay, so go to route, and actually let me just put in the runway here so that will give us more accurate performance data. Runway, boom, that'll give us an extended center line. And now we'll go to route, and again I'm going to have to give you the radio version instead of the TV version. But we are going to do departure Pluto 2. First, let's pick a runway. Okay, Pluto 2 off of runway 34L. And do we want the Midori transition? Let's find out. Where is Midori? Can I use the Midori transition? Why not? You bet. Alright, let's see if I remember how to do this. Okay, route that is in. Okay. Next page. We're going to go to... it doesn't have my airways up. Does it? No, we're going to go direct color. Okay. Boeing language. Enter value first, then tell it where to stick it. Oh, wait. It ends us at color. That's where we're supposed to be. Alright, I'm an idiot. So then we go to stone. Alrighty. Now we're in business. We're spelling. Stone via direct, yes. And rubies. Sorry, I'm still swacked on pain meds for my back. This is just, we'll get there, but, okay, which fix? Which fix? It is going to be, let's get the coordinates for it. Navlog. Ruby's 3744, so it's the first one right there. Okay, done. And sky vector is wonderful. I just popped up the navlog to get the coords, then HPE. Should be an airway in there somewhere, but you know what? Let me just see if I can put in. I'm already on an airway, am I? I should be. Yeah, stone should put me on the Y107. Then the Y10. You know what? We've already done most of the waypoints in it, so it does not matter. So then stone, and from there we'll do HPE, VOR. And from there, we will, unfortunately, let's see, and why is it doing this to me? Let's do this right. This is, I've just jumped a whole bunch of airways here. I don't really want to do that. So we'll delete. We'll delete. And we'll delete. We'll do this right. And we'll delete. Come on. One more time. You know what we'll do here? Watch this. We're going to go from color. And I want to get on the Y107. Do this right. Y107. There we go. Y107 to stone. Okay, Pluto 2, that will work. Now, from there, we want to take the Y10. This is supposed to be the time-saving feature here, Y10. And then we'll take Y10 all the way to Kitakami. No. Hanamaki, HPE, and that will get us there now. Take advantage of this thing. Okay, that's correct. And from there we're going to go to the unfortunately named fix Sambo. This is a problem with, it was a problem in Singapore. They had a toothpaste, sadly, that was called Darky, that featured a dark-skinned minstrel show-looking guy with, of course, big gleaming white teeth on the box because a little bit of cultural misunderstanding. They ultimately changed the name of it, I'm not kidding you, to Darley. I don't know whether they took the African-American guy off of the box with the gleaming teeth, but so we go from there to Sambo, where we will pick up the Y11. So unfortunately I can't directly do a Y11 and have it do a direct join, so I think I have to add to the quota of cultural misunderstandings here and throw Sambo in the box. And which one is it? There's more than one. That's wonderful. Isn't that glorious? Alright, we want the one that is 40 north, so that's this one. Alright, and then from there we will take the Y11, which is named, I don't think it's named after it, but there's a glorious turboprop aircraft from the Nihon company called the Y11 that had some popularity here in this country. So we'll take the Y11 airway from there. But I digress. This is probably boring you to tears, and my apologies for that. It's kind of boring me to tears too. I don't have any snappy stories to go with this except about ill-named toothpastes. Alright, so we're going to do Caply, C-A-P-L-Y. This is your FMC on drugs. Alright, that goes. And then we're going to get on to the nasal 2 arrival. So let's see, arrival. And we're going to do a nasal 2. It's a wonderful arrival. We like that. And the transition is going to be, what do we want? We want Napro if we can get it. No, I mean, we'll get on it at nasal. That's fine. Yeah, we'll get on it at nasal. Otherwise, we do a little jig in the middle of it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, I'm going to save this route if I possibly can now, because we're about to have a gizmo crash. No. Alright, let's see. Routes. How do I save it? Damn it. Well, let's see if we can still make it work. Nasal. And then we're going to do the ILS, Y19 left. Come on. No transition. Done. Activate. Execute. Come on. Okay, we've got a magenta line. Recalculate our V-speeds. That trim is wrong. Let's get the correct trim setting. You still have to go to ground services and cheat. So COG is 15.9 and 4.1. So watch. Put in 15.9 here. And there you go. 4.1. Close enough. Right about there. That should do it. We'll do flaps 5 takeoff. And that is good. No intersection. Now, before I do anything else, let me just see if I can save this route. Menu. FMC. No. Route. Can I save it? Let's find out. I think I can. R J T T R J C C. Let's give it a go. Shall we? No. No. Please. How do I save it? I don't remember how to save it. Hold progress, cruise, descent, execute, route, and it ref. Not there. Arg. back to our index. Offset. No, not there. It's nowhere. There was a way of saving the root. Oh well. Alright. That opportunity is passed. We'll take care of this disco in 1 second. Let's do the deal where we check out our root. Flip this over to plan. Hop on down to here. So we should get our view set up a little bit better so we can do this a little better. Alright, go to our legs page. That's our runway, that's our turn. You can see it right there. It has altitudes in. Well, it's sort of got altitudes in. Alright, so it's probably because, oh, you know what? It doesn't have altitudes because I've got a discontinuity. We'll fix that. Alright, so there's color. There's our airway. And there's our disco. So get rid of this. Please, not in database. Okay, come on, don't crash on me. There we go. Okay, and we've got strangeness. Well, here, let's just back up. Step through it. Our turn. Okay. That's our airway. Dago, Genji, Lanai, Ashra, Rubus. Okay, there's our VOR. There's the unfortunately named Sambo. That's our turn onto Y11. That's the transition. Alright, that's, oh, you know what, that's just a hold for the approach. And there is our final, there's our intermediate fix, and there is our runway. Okay, we're good. I wish I knew how to save this. I wish I remembered how to save this. Menu. No. Nothing. Nothing. All right. Damn it. Okay. And I'm still annoyed that we don't have that there. Let me just see if I'm missing performance data. Not really. Am I missing anything? No derate today. We'll climb on climb 1. And maybe the V-speeds were missing. No, they're not missing. Okay. Alright, thrust reduction altitude is fine at 1500. No altitudes is bad. Let's just put them in manually. Let's see if we can put them in manually. This is obviously me not being able to do anything here. The restriction here should actually not be 1500 or above. It should 15,000 or above. It should be 12,000 or above. So we'll put in and it actually should be between 12 or 15, but I don't think it knows how to put in that constraint. But at the very least, we shouldn't blow. We should not blow through there. Matter of fact, a better way to do this would be to make it 15 exactly. So that's just me being stupid. There we go. Okay. That's better. Alright, now we're just going to thump for our way through a start and a push here. I am woefully out of practice here, but we'll go back into a map mode. We'll zoom out one notch, give us a good view there. We should enter our V-speeds. That would help. Hit ref. Boom. Boom. Alright. Bug 80. Okay, bug V1 and V rotate, 144, 146. Try to do this right. Okay, we'll bug our cleanup speed, which is what, 210. Okay, and we'll bug V2, which is going to be 154. Love the click sounds in this. Don't like the dragging, love the clicking. I'll just do it to make it click. What did we say? 154. In this plane you bug the exact V2 and it will put in an additive. On some planes in some SOPs you bug V2 plus 10 or V2 plus 15 or whatever. We do not. Brakes are on RTO. I think we're good to start. Start levers should be down. Recall is fine. Beacon is on. Lights are on. Pressurization is set. Okay, let's see what direction. I think we're going to push nose to our right. Do we? Okay, we want to go to 3-4 left. So yeah, we want to push nose to our right and go that way. Alright, so we'll start our push. Push back. Nose to our right. Release the brakes. Come on up here. And we'll use our right ignition tonight. And we'll start number 2. We'll see pressure drop on the APU. We're going to watch for the engine to turn. And when it gets up to 20, we're going to give it some fuel. Monitor our push. Okay, there we go. There's 20. Introduce fuel. Watch the light off. Okay, it's looking reasonably good. I don't want to push onto that taxiway. Check our start. Okay, that's good. The way you stop a push on this plane is you just mash the brakes. And that ends the start. We got good temps. We got good turning. We got good everything. So let's start number 1. Taxi light on already. Alright, monitor that. Set flaps 5. Okay, looks like we got a clean start on that. In comes the fuel. Temps rise smoothly. On a weather radar. Okay. There we go. Got starter cut out there. Should make sure we're squawking. Hey, I'll tell you. TARA, that's fine. And that on radio. Okay, that's good. Got a clean start. We are burning fuel here. We appear to be in business. That seems to be condensation coming out of the engines. I hope. I hope that's not an engine fire. No indication it is. That's our vibration indicator. That's fine. Oil's fine. Oil pressure is fine. Flaps are 5 and set. Set an initial altitude of 15,000. We cannot bust that, although we'll probably be in VNAV mode. Okay, that's good. We're going to initially depart in heading mode. And runway heading here is checking. Should know these things. Is 337. We'll get that bugged up. Oops. 337. Okay. Flight director should be on both with captain's priority. Flight director is enunciating. Heading select is enunciating. Heading is set. Set. Get our ATIS here. And ATIS here is... Oh, to know what ATIS is here. Damn it. I hate not being able to pop this stuff up. I'm just going to get the weather from SkyVector instead of waiting for the ATIS. Okay. 1018020 at 9. Okay, 1018, and temperatures are 20. Okay, good. Alright, put that in. 018, confirm that it matches our field elevation, and it does. Good. And good. And good. Alright, heading select at the moment. Altitude set, MCP is set, autopilot is off, flight director is on, taxi lights on, ignition can stay where it is at the moment, but what we have to do is we have to get on our engine power, turn off our APU. Okay, that's done, that's out. Check and see whether we're getting juice from our gens. And we are. Okay, that's good. Galley power can be on. Signs are on. Bleeds are on. Isolation valves on auto, that's fine. Recirc fan is on auto. Temps are a little bit Chile. Heats are all on. Recall is checked. Alright, let's taxi on out of here, and by that, I think that means to go that way. Alright. Bear with me here. I'm a little bit rusty, as you can tell. But we're going to have some fun. I should have a little paper thing in front of me. We call it a checklist, but no such luck. We're not winging it. God, I wish they opened these eyebrow windows. They say they might do it for some of the models. That would be wonderful. I love the eyebrow windows. See if we can achieve a Southwest Zen state of taxi here. Where's my ground speed display again? There it is. Kind of like this view. As we pick up a little bit of rain here. I should probably assign that to my main key instead of this, but so be it. Clear to the left, clear to the right. Try not to take out any taxi signs. This thing does very well on the ground. I'll say that much for it. Rush over at Aerosim Gaming had some little quibbles about the drag. Said it was too slippery. Not being a real pilot, I don't know. Said it was a little too easy to get right. It is reputedly a pretty forgiving airplane. And it's also reputedly a pretty slippery airplane, so too slippery, I don't know. So that's Cat 3, a whole short line there. Give you plenty of separation. They certainly do. This is going to be fun. Haven't flown the plane in a while. Check the brakes. Brakes are touchy as always. And that's a function of brake pedals, not of the sim especially. Fake brake pedals, even on good rudders, are generally pretty sucko. Okay. Try not to embarrass ourselves here. Alright, too quick before takeoff check. Turn on our inboards, turn off our taxi. Come on. Logos on, strobes on, position light. Turn on everything. Why the hell not? Alright, pressurization must go to flight or we will be a little bit screwed. Fine down here, fine down here. That's supposed to give a little cabin call there, but it doesn't. That's what it's supposed to do, but it's not supposed to pop that up. Alright, that's fine. Pressurization is set, bleeds and packs are on. Auto throttle can come on now. It is armed. Flight director mode. Should be in heading select again. We'll reselect it. Runway heading set. Altitude set. Right. Let's get out of Dodge. You know what? Trim set. Speed brakes off. Flaps set 5. Gotta do this right. Alright. Here we go. Clear on the approach. Wow, look at that. Looks good, folks. Looks really good. We can do this. Alright, runway is identified. Told to line up and wait. So we will auto throttle arm, flap set, just making sure. Brake set to RTO, speeds bugged. Altimeters set, course laid in. Transponder transponding. Radar on terrain. Looks like we got limitations up as well. We've got a magenta line, and I think we're in business. So I'm just going to ramp up the power here. Let it come up. Power is stable at Toga, and 1 and Toga are enunciating. Flight director's up. Little bit of a crosswind. 80 knots. Okay. Get a big roll here because we're heavy. There we go, V1. Rotate smoothly up to the bar. Okay, positive rate. Gear up. Follow the flight director. LNAV. Let's try that again. LNAV, there we go. Turn. Wait for our acceleration altitude. You see how heavy we are? Okay, acceleration altitude. Nose down. Flaps up. Engage VNAV, and that's going to accelerate us automatically. Not vertical speed, no, VNAV, please, thank you. There we go. Always check your mode enunciator, your FMA here, right there. Alright, now we're just going to fly this out. Notice it accelerates us very nicely. It does it for us, and we're now fully clean. And we are rocketing towards Nirvana. Our speed bug advances to 250. Down comes the nose, and I'm just hand flying this thing because it's too good not to. Check our course. There we are. Doing fine. We're on speed. We are mostly on profile. Notice we're not climbing unbelievably fast. Quirky. Let's see if we'll make our restriction. This thing is quite a pleasure to fly. As we basically just rocket through the clouds here. It requires a lot of trimming. Is the only thing, and the real thing requires a lot of trimming. Alright, so let's do some basic after takeoff flows here. Gear can come off. And we forgot to switch our lights to, the one thing we forgot to do was forgot to switch our sparkers to continuous. So, well, we've just saved that from the after takeoff check, haven't we? Caution panel is clear, and we are pressurizing. And away we go, past Pluto here. We are, however, and I don't know whether this is the fault of the auto throttle or my flying, but we're about 7 knots fast. Probably because I'm keeping a little bit nose low here. As we look at that, come back over Tokyo. Alright, we're close enough for government work, I think. God, this thing is fun to fly. Alright, engine temps are all within parameters. We can turn our brakes off. Yeah, I'm flying it a little bit fast. That's my fault. A little bit nose down in the flight director is really what it is. We're performing nicely. Are we going to hit our constraint? Let's see. I think we will. Alright. So we're above 10. And it is now speeding us up. And we can go lights off. We're still climbing at a decent clip here. That's good. And I'm getting slightly behind the airplane here as I do my flows. Probably off course by about a half a mile. And it is speeding us up for a cruise climb very, very nicely. You see, if you automatically, even if you're hand flying, if you get into your VNAV mode at the acceleration altitude, it'll automatically take care of the rest. You don't have to worry about speed intervening and when to nose down and when to clean up. It'll guide you on that. And you can see once this thing does get ahead of steam going, it performs well enough. There we go. All right. Yes, we've been cleared up to 310, so away we will go. Fix right there, come on. Freeze up. There we go. And again, I pretty much hand flown this whole thing. I'm reasonably trimmed out now, and it only takes minor control inputs fly the plane, which is exactly as it should be. Just scanning my rate of climb, scanning my magenta line, and I'm keeping an eye on airspeed. And there we go, we've just passed another constraint. It's going to let us speed up. It's actually working very nicely. But of course now with the change in power and configuration, now comes the retrimming. Alright, now it is going to hold us, I believe, at this altitude. Yep. Going to hold us at this altitude until we pass that waypoint right there. So that's good, it's doing its job. And we're following its orders here. It just leveled us off at 15. and we're just going to hold here for a minute until we get that next turn. Once we get that turn, we're going to be clear to climb. And in a second, it will cue us to climb. See, it knows what our cruise altitude is, and it knows what the constraint is. So I'm just right now following it. That's pretty goddamn beautiful. So we're level of 15, and I am guessing that after we get to this leg right there, should be clear to climb. And we are. It's turning us a little bit wide. Going pretty fast. And probably we're picking up a little bit of rain. There we go. Let's see if it's sequencing it right. Yep, we're going to color. There we go. And so I'm just flying the airplane. This is SkyMax 3.32. And we are doing very nicely indeed. Very clean. Flying nice. We're doing what we should be doing, which is flying, which is nice. I don't have to tell as many funny stories because the autopilot's doing the job. Just fly the plane. We should have set standard altimeter though by now, which we haven't, so let's do that. I keep thinking I'm in the States here, and the transition's actually 14 and not 18. It's close. There's a move underway, I think, to harmonize it everywhere, and I think it's going to harmonize it at 18. In countries without significant terrain, it doesn't matter as much. And retrim. Bing, bada boom. Okay, there's color. There's an erroneous altitude here in stone here. I'm just going to put it in autopilot right now for 1 second. And I'm going to delete this constraint here. It's got a bogus constraint here. So, it's going to, damn it, it's going to try and descend us. Alright, let's go direct to Dago then. Let's get rid of that. Come on. Come on, do it. No. Come on. Clear. Dago, get it in there. Nope, won't do it. Alright, we'll do direct to Genji. Ah, don't take a direct two. Damn it. Come on. There we go. Alright. See, it tried to level us off. Alright. Now. it's going to be happy to have us climb. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the autopilot and fly the plane again, because it's too much fun not to. I mean, it's too much fun to. Alright, I want to fly this all the way up to cruise. Trimming a little bit to maintain speed. There we go. It's so stable. Does exactly what you want. I think Rush was objecting to the fact that it felt a little bit point and shoot. Don't know if I agree, but then again, he's got more experience in a 737 simulator, sort of big-time simulator, so, and he's got much better flight chops than I do. So we'll see. Jan Vogel, who is one of the members of IXEG, though, flew one of these things for a living for a long time, so I think he also knows the trade-offs involved. So I'm not sure. I do know, as I was rambling on about the Saab the other day, the controls on this plane are harmonious. They're predictable. And the demands of the fake plane seem to match the demands of the real plane. In other words, it demands a lot of trim changes with engine power changes because of where the engines are located. And the thing turns and moves the way it seems the real thing does. I'm going to get the opportunity, I hope, in the next few months to go down to Atlanta. Delta at their museum lets you rent time in a 737-200 level D sim. And so I'm going to give that a go. Give that a try. As we turn onto our airway. And we're now 7,000 away from the top of climb. And again, as we just continue to gently and easily fly this airplane. I mean, obviously the autopilot could probably lock it on just a little bit better than I am, but it is by no means difficult. It really is not. Except when it loads weather and it freezes like that. And you wonder why the plane isn't doing what you want. Alright. Pressurization is all fine. We can tell people they can smoke. And jump up and down. And break the china. And we can enjoy a little bit of scenery. And it's wanting us to climb a little slower because it's wanting us to fly a little faster. So just trimming down ever so slightly. Hold in the flight director. Squaring up our heading bug as I go. Noticing that we've got big crosswind pushing us from our left, which is why our heading is deviated from our track, you see. We're flying this heading, but we're getting pushed on that track. There's absolutely nothing dramatic about any of this at all. You should just know that. And you shouldn't be intimidated by finding a particular fake plane if you can, and just learning to hand fly it, learning the ins and outs of it. It is the best way to improve your overall performance even when you're on autopilot, because you'll get a better sense of what combinations of power and pitch yield you. And so and you'll learn what the airplane does in the way of control sensitivity, so you won't be constantly over-controlling and be behind the plane. It's hard with the joystick. It's really hard with a Cytec yoke with those rubber bands in it. It's not easy to get it right. And with some flight models, it makes it terrible. If you find a plane that's got a good flight model, like the SimCoder's add-on for the Carenado, Beach Bonanza or Cessna Centurion, or the Cessna 172 from Airfoil Labs, I think it's called, or the Saab, that takes one variable out of the equation. And then if you just do this a lot, it takes the other variable out, which is you learn to anticipate the performance of the plane, and even when you're on autopilot, then you get a better idea of what kind of power inputs you need, what speed's good to be at what point, what's going to be a good descent. So it's always useful. It's easier if you've got a co-pilot, obviously, to do this. Alright, so we're coming up on 2,000 away, and your humble captain is going to have to stretch his gimpy leg in 1 second. I did my first day of physical therapy, and I got all these exercises to do to take the load off of that part of my spine that's bulging and squeezing and causing all the mayhem. And it was very cool. Really useful. Also learn what not to do to injure myself all the time. Alright, what do we got? What's going on? Do I have a pressurization warning? Am I overspeeding? I'm overspeeding. Alright. Get the autopilot on. Let it bring the nose up slightly. And get into our cruise right there. Turn our target down to 0.74. Let's give that a try. Could always intervene on the throttles, but not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. You know what? Our CDU is not fully working. Alright. I'm going to have to manually intervene here. I don't want to. Alright. Wait till we acquire altitude and I'll just put up with the sound for a minute. It should save us from that, but that's my own fault. .730. It should throttle us back when we level off here. Alright. It is not letting me change that. Just watching the throttles walk back here and just seeing if it curbs its little excess here. below our max. It's just not letting me reset the performance data. Back into the cruise page. I should be able to reset my target speed here, but it's not letting me. Can I delete it? Probably not. Alright. Let's do this. Altitude hold. Get our speed down. Roll the throttles back. There we go. It is. Come on. All right. We'll try the next step. Square up our throttles. Disconnect auto throttle. Slow us down a little bit. Maybe it's not an overspeed warning. Alright, it's not an overspeed warning. It's back in VNAV mode. What's broken? There seems to be nothing broken. Cabin altitude is... That's the problem? But what's the problem? Differential pressure is fine. The cabin is still climbing. Cabin altitude is high. Why is the cabin altitude high? It's not dangerous high. We're in flight, we're in auto. Our valve is closed. We can do this manually. Oh, don't tell me. Ugh. Unbelievably stupid mistake. I thought my packs were on auto, my packs were off. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Alright. And that also highlights a problem. The altitude horn is similar to all the other warning horns on it. I don't think it's different. Damn it. I looked right up at the packs and I said, oh, they're on auto. Why is the cabin altitude still climbing? Alright, well, that sucks. What would have happened is the masks would have dropped and the cabin altitude got up to about 14,000 feet, so it would have been ugly but not deadly. Ah, criminy. Alright. Well, having killed almost all the passengers, no, having sickened them. Hope nobody has a heart condition. Can't change that performance, which is too bad. But alright. Let's just check our legs, make sure the rest of the flight looks reasonably good. Alright, top of descent. 243 miles. That's not implemented yet. Is it implemented yet? Where we go? I really don't want to modify that. Clear. Come on. Alright, so there's Sambo. Check our constraints. 5,000 Nepro into our approach. Yes. That's all fine. Let's get our speeds set. Probably at Nessic I really want to be more fully configured. So let's make that 155. Execute that. Okay. Those speeds are all reasonable. That's good. Alright. So we focused on the wrong problem. We focused on troubleshooting an overspeed, and then when it wouldn't let us fix it, we assumed that because it wouldn't let us fix it, that was the thing that was broken. And of course it's not. We got tunnel vision there. So, lesson learned. We are back on track though. Let's just brief our arrival. A nice arrival from the south, looping around to the north, putting us in an extended left downwind for an ILS arrival. Okay, looking at our plate here. Looking at our plate here. Nasal to arrival will bring us to nasal. We'll turn about 45 degrees to our right. Then descending, we'll go to show me, and then we'll turn onto the nice downwind leg. About a 28-mile downwind leg. We'll turn to a 10-mile base, and then we'll intercept the localizer. Want to be 3,000 above there. We've got a decent descent. We've come in at 310, and about 45 miles later we need to be at 12,000 or above, and then we have to come down at 5,000 feet. We have to be below 7,000 12 miles later. So that should be fun. It's by no means undoable, but that should be sporty. And I don't know why we're getting rain up here. The outside air temperature is probably, well, it's minus 18.3. Plus the ISA correction. And we seem to be struggling right now to hold altitude, or to not to blow over our altitude. And let's just get our okay, we're going to need 10935. And 280 is going to be our descent altitude. I don't think that's exactly right, but 935. Unfortunately, this doesn't have standby freaks. I'd love to put in the VOR for missed approach, which is the Mukawa VOR. So I'm just going to put in a good soldier. I'll put in the ILS on both sides. Can't display the dual HSIs up here like I can on the Saab, which I love. But the course inbound is going to be 182, so I will get that ready on the first officer's side, so I'll be able to glance over there and get an idea of with respect to it. And let's see what this sucker looks like. See how crabbed we are there? That's that crosswind now, which is, if we look down, yes, it is 87 knots coming from our left, which is not entirely insignificant. Look at that. Does the cloud shadows very nicely, the haze very nicely. It's not perfect. We're on altitude, and we're getting jittered around a little bit, as you can tell. Our pressurization, our cabin altitude now is around 10, so that's fine. It's coming down. Thank goodness. Big lesson learned there. And the folks at IXEG, this is 1.07 instead of 1.08 hotfix. They did a whole string of hotfixes. They're promising, Jan is, a 1.1 update, which supposedly doesn't just have hotfixes. It might have TCAS in it, and it has graphical fixes, little fixes for any graphical problems and paint and texture problems, but also a whole slew of FMC improvements, so that should be great. And they said that they were going to, holy crap, yeah, look at us with this crosswind here. They said that they're basically going to test the crap out of it. So it's going to be a few weeks, but it's weeks is what it is instead of months. So it should be good. It should be nice, and it's pouring down rain up here, which is probably not entirely correct. Don't see any ice on any surfaces. And I see nothing but blue sky above. Boy, that's a good looking airplane. It's not. The rotate sim is amazing. The MD-80 is just amazing looking. This is merely excellent. But they really get the haunches of the plane right in here is very nice. This is why we can't have nice 737s, is because to make them bigger, they have to make the landing gear longer to clear the engine and to let the plane rotate. But to make the plane bigger and make the landing gear longer, they have to then make more room in the bay and more room here for the mechanisms. And they can't. Well, they can, but it'll basically be like building a whole new airplane. So Boeing is kind of stuck. They're just slightly screwed. And they're going to try and give it one more stretch. And what they really need to do is just be able to count on their engine maker to get more out of these engines without making them any bigger. And that's what they're counting on, because without it, they would need bigger engines, bigger landing gear, new wing root section, and gear bay section, and they'd essentially be designing a new airplane. I wish they would. Um, you know, 737-900s and Maxes, and 737-10,000s are just unspeakably hideous to fly in, and now they're big enough to fly across the country, and sometimes they do. And they gotta be awful. I don't mean awful, but they gotta be kind of crappy to fly. You know, imagine one of these things only another 25 feet longer. So, you know, it's like you have to watch out for tail strikes when you fly them. They're like awkward and ungainly in the flare. They're just, you know, probably feel weird. I don't think a pilot would like that. Then again, it's not primarily about pilot convenience. Mainly, it's about passenger revenue. In the meantime, we're going over some really just some beautiful terrain here, and this is just the stock mesh here as we make our way up the island of Honshu towards Hokkaido, towards Sapporo, on what is reputedly the busiest airline route on the planet, which surprised me. I figured it might have been Tokyo, Osaka, or Hong Kong, Shanghai, or Shanghai, Beijing, or even New York, Chicago, LA, San Francisco, something like that, or New York, Washington. But this is apparently it. The most traveled, trafficked, single airline route on Earth. Surprised the crap out of me. I mean, then again, it does close to 9 million passengers just on the route, so that's practically, well, that is one medium to large size American airport right there. LaGuardia probably, I think, handles about close to 25 million a year. Pittsburgh, which is now more of a medium-sized airport than a big one, used to handle about 21 million. Now it handles about 8. So that's basically every single passenger in a year in Pittsburgh flying on this one route. So pretty damn spectacular. Alright, so let's see if we can, I think we're a little bit far out to get our weather, but let's just see if we can find it. It's at 1286. I doubt it. Oh, it's been a long time since I've flown this plane, but I do dearly love it. 1286, and we're probably going to pick up a big fat nothing. That is correct. That's fine. Let's zoom out on our map here. The nice thing about newer 737s is this panel right here that controls this. They stuck up here, which is, if not brilliant, is at least good. Let's see where we are. Alright, so there's top of descent right after Capley. And I think what we're going to do is, I think we're going to fly this by hand. Because again, why not? Let's see. Descent in 137 nautical miles. And I'm going to trust the VNAV. Believe it or not, I'm going to trust the VNAV. And the constraints, follow it on down. Just get our star up here. Get it ready to go. A lot of constraints in it, and a platform altitude of 3,000. Get that ready to go. And I'm actually going to trust it to keep to my constraints. I'm going to give it a try. I don't think I can intervene with throttle. I think I need to do it with auto throttle. Otherwise it will not permit me in the in full VNAV, which is a shame because I'd love to be able to do it controlling my own power because I don't like the way it does it. But I guess we won't confuse its poor little head. So. Range in a little bit there. And finally, our pressurization is good. We've revived passengers. Make sure this works. It does. Oh man, my leg's killing me. Getting proper lumbar support. Alright, that's looking good. At some point, they will fix either X-Plane or Windows 10, and I'll be able to toggle away from it. Now, our wind coming at us from this way is 101 frickin' knots. That is quite spectacular. Let's see. Get a weather forecast for Chitose. Wind variable 3 knots, fine. Few 25. 1018. 3006. Set that standby. Hope that doesn't screw anything up. It shouldn't. Alright, so we're going to basically fly this very much the non-European way. We are not going to be on automatics. We will have flight director guidance. Doing this just to keep the feel for it. In the meantime, let's just get our V-speeds ready for arrival. Ordinarily, you do this later, but don't have a co-pilot. So... lost my page. There we go. We'll land at flaps 30. And we're heavy with passengers, so pregnant with them. God damn it. Screw that up. 147. Done. Automatically puts in a 5-knot correction. That's fine. And that will give us a VREF of 147. Which is pretty damn close to what we started out with. It's about 152. Go. All right, and we're now somewhat shamefacedly turning at Sambo. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you somewhere down there in northern Honshu, Sambo, ladies and gentlemen. All right. You know, I should really check Twitter to see if Donald Trump made some more news. I don't know why I want to do that, but we're going back to work soon. Might as well check it out. I don't really want to be going back to work tonight, thank goodness. Check the Huff and Puff post. Nice. Good. All right. Joked about dating 17-year-olds. Ivanka made me promise I would never date a girl younger than her. Said he found 12-year-old Paris Hilton attractive. Cool. Interesting. All right. Well. Headline in the New York Times, Donald Trump opens new line of attack on Hillary Clinton, her marriage. Alright, well, he said infidelity was never a problem during his 3 marriages. Cool. Okay. Alright. Cool. And said the former Miss Universe who put on weight was no Girl Scout. I was going to say, if she were a Girl Scout and dressed up in the uniform, would he have dated her? I don't know. Not for me to say. This is really some good-looking country we're over, though. So, I'm a happy boy. Let's see where we are with respect to top of descent. 84 miles, and we are now getting hit, ladies and gentlemen, by 109 knots from our left. That is some serious winds aloft. You can see us quivering along here, and I just want to show you another flyby here. Look at that. We are sideways to the wind. Whoa, look at that. Look at that's just bloody amazing. Here, show you the crab angle of that. Line it up with our direction of flight. About like that. That is really something. You see how we're sort of leaning into the wind, where just the airplane is rolling ever so slightly too. And you notice the rudder correction end. Look at that. Wow. It's also why the ball here is doing a gentle little dance. Alright, so in a second we will fly this descent ourselves. Just using the flight director, our eyeballs, keeping an eye on our constraints. Which reminds me, I should get the chart up. Okay, there we go. And then I will, after all this, reward myself with a beer and a Percocet. Yummy. I don't mean to make light of it. They put me on one of those self-medicating morphine things that you can administer yourself, and it will dose you as many as I want to say 6 or 8 times an hour and I had it in for, let's see, the first 24 hours I was hospitalized, and I think I used it 3 times. In retrospect, it was handing out hydromorphone, which is Dilaudid, which is like mainlining heroin, basically. And in retrospect, I'm just unbelievably stupid for not taking advantage of all that great narcotic goodness. But, story of my life. Insufficient alertness to narcotic opportunities. So they sent me home with like 2 weeks worth of Percocet, and I think I've managed to eat 3 of them in the last week. So again, I'm just not availing myself of the narcotic opportunities in front of me, and I'm a disgrace to somebody. Not even drinking enough. Oh man, all this clean living. So, our local altimeter 018, not much in the way of winds. At the moment everything is good. I haven't broken the airplane. Keep our logo light on. There's no reason not to. Alright. And again, the transition altitude here is 14,000. Something to remember as we head out. This is where we're going. This is southern Hokkaido. Look here. This little spit land is Capley, I think, is our waypoint there. Yes, Capley should be right at Land's End, over right about there. And then comes TOD. And now, well, the winds have died down. They're only 106 knots now. Wow. Okay, so we go over that, and then that spit of land, and that is actually the beginning of Hokkaido right there. The town of Sapporo is off just a little bit this way.
Nujitos information. 400 Zulu weather. Wind 280 at 106. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 25. Dew point -6. Altimeter 3009. Arriving and departing runway 19 right.
Okay, once again you heard the wind.
Initial contact you have.
You heard that the winds make no sense. It said winds 280 at 106, which is basically the winds we've got here. So for some reason the ATIS is reading the winds aloft, it seems. If they had hurricane force winds on the ground, we would know about it. So that ain't it. Alright, where are we coming up on top of descent? We're close. 34 miles. And we are looking good, taco. I know if you're wondering where I say that, why I say that, there's a cockpit video of a space shuttle landing, and one of the guys who's he's not Maverick, his name is Taco apparently, is at the controls, and the other shuttle pilot, this is on landing, is talking him through it. It must be the guy's first landing, and he's coaching him on, and a little more, a little less, keep it coming down, etc., all that normal stuff. But at one point he gets himself lined up, and the other guy says, "And you are looking good today, Taco." So it's the new official seal of approval if we're doing something right here. Taco is looking good. Don't know how Taco's going to do today, but we're going to see in a minute, aren't we? Oh yes, Taco will get his chance to shine. Alright, we won't worry about lights just yet, but we will sit people down. Get ready. Tell the flight safety consultants to pick up the trash, do a little crop dusting too. It's, when you're a little bit windy and you're a flight attendant, you go walking down the aisle and spread a little joy. It's known as crop dusting, apparently. I love how every business has its own little terminology. Is in the emergency room, and they have all their terminology, including GOMER, which is an acronym for pain in the ass in the emergency room, but it stands for Get Out of My Emergency Room. So they also have a category which is actually methodologically it's unfortunate because it tends to lead to misdiagnoses, and that is frequent flyer. If you've been in the emergency room a lot, you will be flagged as a so-called frequent flyer, and generally speaking, or sadly, frequent flyers tend to get less credence because they're just assumed to be people, they become part of the background, and, they're there, but they're not there, and why are they always there? And in fact, many of them have got significant medical problems, but sometimes they get underdiagnosed. There was a study recently about that, which was pretty cool. And the recommendation was don't use that designation anymore. Even if somebody's been in the emergency room a lot, don't give anybody the temptation to consider them as part of the background instead of the foreground. So it's just human nature. So some emergency rooms are playing around with that, which is great. Alright, we are almost at top of descent, and as soon as it rolls back to power, we're going to disconnect the autopilot, and we're going to fly the airplane down. Or do our best. Okay, 1.8 miles away. Okay, my airplane. A little bit mistrimmed there. We'll fix that. There we go. Settle into our descent. Get stable. Retrim. We got the wind to deal with. Wow, we got the wind to deal with. Hadn't counted on that. Alright. We're descending at quite a clip. At some point it might ask us for speed brakes. Just retrimming now. Trying to let it oscillate about its speed. and get settled in while I just tweak the trim slightly. So I'm now just walking it over trimmed up a little bit. So I'm going to trim down. Well, it's about nice. Now we're settling in, and now it's got a range where I can pretty much control it. So here we come. Let me get my legs page up so I can see my constraints as we go. First constraint we have to hit is 13,152 SOE. It's going to scale us down a bit here so we can see. I'm going to switch to local altimeter, remember, at 14. And it's not asking us for drag yet, so we're good. We're descending at a mighty, mighty, mighty clip here. I'm just trimming a little bit for the descent. And now it's saying it wants drag, so we'll give it some drag. Get the boards out. Clear the message. That's already cleared. We'll preemptively get some drag going. So that's going to let us raise the descent rate without raising the speed. And as you can see, the winds are dying down from our left, but we're still getting buffeted here. And there's some buffeting because the speed brakes are out, obviously. Let's see if we still need them. Alright, so we're now 10 away from our constraint, and we're 30 miles, so we can do that. That's a reasonable rate of descent. And again, now I'm just trimming very gently. And as long as it's not demanding big changes in descent rate, I can keep this trim, and it's keeping the power. And I'm almost hands-off. At some point it may demand, the VNAV path may ask for a steeper descent, and then we'll have to reconfigure. But at the moment, we just keep an eye on where we are on our legs page, keep an eye on where we are on the map, keep an eye on our speed, look at our descent rate, and make sure everything else is configured as it should be. And so far it is. Now this isn't the rawest of raw flying, in which case you would be planning your own descent, managing your own descent, and flying without a flight director and simply flying either headings or with respect to a nav aid. But on many planes and with many airlines, it's as close as you're going to get, and some airlines just don't even allow you to do this. Some airlines, you're on the autopilot from 400 feet up and all the way down to 1,000 feet, or sometimes down to minimums. Okay, so now it wants more descent, so we're going to have to accommodate it, and it's probably going to need some drag. Matter of fact, I'm going to give it to it right now, preemptively. Give it a fighting chance here. I'm going to step in before it asks for it, in other words. Allow us to slow down just a touch ourselves. And when the speed brakes go in, I can either retrim or I can just pull back a little bit. I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to retrim a little just to take the control pressure off, because it forces a nose down moment. Alright, so We're now 12 miles away, and we need to come down 4,000 feet, so I can get rid of the speed brakes again. And I can let it assume a slightly shallower descent. Alright, I'm going to set local altimeter now as we come up on 14. 1018. Looks like we just shot over the localizer. Also, you notice we're just slightly above our descent profile, but we're doing fine. We're also now 8 miles away, and we need to come down. Need to come down 2,000 feet. I'm gonna get some speed brakes out again. Bring our descent rate down. Get back on that profile. Trim down. Now trim up. And it just so happens that the VNAV speed we set is very, very close to our VREFs. So I'm actually going to fly the VNAV speed all the way to our arrival. So here we come. We're about to make our turn onto our base leg. And we are below our transition altitude. Just going to get our lights on right now. Our sparks on right now. And that's done. Make our turn. And in a second, when we get below 10, it's going to slow us. It's going to bring our range in a little bit. There we go. Come around on the turn. We're at full IMC here. And looking at our speed constraint, see it's going to get us to 240 in 1 second, which is another good reason why I have the speed brakes out. And there we go. So we get onto our base leg. And it's retarding the throttles to slow us. Still have our speed brakes out. We're gently slowing. We're not slowing quite fast enough. Maybe we will. I'm going to trim up because the throttle configuration's changed. And it shouldn't be doing that, but it is. And it does that sometimes. It tries to get one last gasp of speed in. And they should fix that as we come up on the constraint. It should allow us to slow a lot more, but it doesn't. So in essence, we're just going to bust our speed here thanks to that. But now it now has brought our speed bug down. And we're going to bring our nose up. I'm not going to bring it up to the point where it climbs, where it wants it to be. I'm going to let us stay in that descent there. I've got our speed brakes out. You see, it tried to, in the last few miles of a segment before speed restriction, it actually tried to maintain the prior speed. So, that was dumb. Alright, it's rearmed throttles. And we are established on our base leg. And we're coming below the clouds, looks like. We are. And I'm going to take out the speed brakes. I think we're okay. Keep them armed. Set our auto brakes to 2. And that's pretty much the before. That's pretty much the approach checklist taken care of. Don't have a localizer yet. We should be right about, the airport should be right about there. And now we're just keeping an eye on our next constraint. We need, in 6 miles, we need to be below 7. We're good there. This is basically going to set us up for the ILS, which we'll also fly ourselves. Just why not? So again, as it changes power and gets us settled into a different configuration, let's see. Okay, we are going to be below 7. We have to stay above 5 for another 5 miles after that. Beautiful looking weather. And we are now below, we are below 250. That's good. That needs to be there. So the VNAV has its moments. All right, got another 1.5 miles to get below 7. We are below 7. Okay, that's good. I'm going to temporarily set this to our decision altitude, just so that it does not prevent us from doing the approach. It shouldn't, but sometimes it does. Okay, we're coming up on our turn, and at this point I wish I'd set a slightly slower speed constraint, because I want to get out flaps 5. I cannot till we get to 235, so I'm just going to have to wait for it to slow us, but it'll add the slightest bit of drama. That's it. Alright, scale ourselves back to 10 miles here. And there is our glide slope. And here comes our turn. We're just going to spin our bug around to runway heading, which is, what is it, 181. There we go. And now it is letting us slow, and now, good. Now we can put in slightly oversped right there. Come on, slow down. There we go. Perfect. So we'll come around. Don't add power, airplane. Don't do that. Come on, don't fight it. Jesus. Up come the flaps. God damn it. See what I mean? And it tries to get one last gasp at whatever its prior speed was. Until we hit Napro, it's going to want to be at this speed, which is just a little fast. Alright, that means we're going to have to decelerate quicker, but that's okay. I hope they fix that. If they fix anything, I hope they fix that. It's some nice looking weather we're dealing with. Very nicely rendered. Alright, so there's our localizer. You can see over there. There's our glide slope. What I can do at this point, if I really want to, is switch over into VOR loc mode, get into our speed mode. It's just more work. Alright, I've armed VOR loc. Is it going to let us slow down? Come on. We're a little bit above the glide slope, and I don't like where that's leaving us. Bit of an intercept, but okay. I'm dipping below my constraint deliberately here. I don't want to be so high. And good. Now it's slowing us. Good. Alright, now I can do what I wanted to do, which is get some flaps in. Get them in now. Alright, so we're going to get established on the localizer here. And I'm going to do something I wouldn't ordinarily do. I'm going to get the boards out. Yep, VNav is disconnected. That's fine. And now I'm going to arm approach. I'm going to arm approach. There we go. Okay, we got it. Out come the speed brakes. In comes 52. Close enough. Okay. Speed brakes armed. Below the glide slope. That is perfect. 3,000 feet is where we want to get it. Okay. Slow to my final config. Flaps 15, gear down. Come on, intervene speed. There you go. There we go. A little laggy with the throttles. Okay. Okay, fully configured. We do have a problem here, Houston, though, and that is that we've lost the localizer. Just drifted right off the localizer. Alright, now let's play everybody's favorite game. Where's the airport? Son of a gun. Where'd the airport go? Oh, that was beautiful. Alright. We're gonna cheat. Should be right there. Oh, that's dandy. All right. We'll fly a right. fly a right downwind. How the hell did I do that? Oh, fuck. Alright.
2500.
Striking display of incompetence. And, you know what? We don't want to land on the wrong runway either. Alright, get down to pattern altitude. There we go. That's the Air Force Base. How the hell did we miss that? How on earth did we miss that? Can't see a bloody thing either. Well, that's just dandy.
1000.
Stable.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink
500.
rate.
400. 300. 200. 100.
This is pathetic.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sapporo, where the local time is 0 wow 30. We blew through that localizer, and totally and utterly, completely screwed the pooch. Wow. I was going to say, and that's how it's done. But that's no good. Anyway, let's take a look at that landing. Oh, man. God. I am a maroon. So let's see if we can spot where it went wrong first. Alright, so there we go. Hang on. So here we go. Come on. Screwing up the sound here. Alright, so there is our localizer. and we blew through it. And we ended up on the other side of it. That's the problem. And then we went looking for the airport. So we basically just turned too late and we blew right through it. Wow. All right. There we are. Our poor forlorn airplane here looking for someplace to land. Oh, sad, sad airplane. There we go. God, look at this. I guess there's a runway over here someplace. I don't know. Gonna land there? Nope. Not gonna land there. This is could charitably be called a circling approach. God, look at this. Look at that. Wow. God, major derp. Definitely, I deserve a promotion from Corporal Derp to Lieutenant Colonel Derp. Wow. I'm slow, I'm low. It all worked out so well. Look at that, dragging my ass in there. Ooh, get it over that threshold, come on. Amazing handling skills, let me tell you. God, wow. That's pathetic. But it still deserves the Hawaii 5-0 shot. Because, I mean, you know, doesn't it always? Stop it right there. Get down there. Get over here. Back it up there. This is a very displaced threshold. I should have taken the parallel runway. Whoa, come on, come on, come on. Look at, I'm just going to drag this thing so much I barely make it over the threshold. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the idiot arrives. God. Such a promising flight, too. Look at that. Wow. Just hanging there in midair like a giant dunce cap. Well, at least I grease it on. God. Ugh. Fantastic. All right, cool. Outstanding. On that note, I think I will leave you. We will do better next time. I swear we will. It's been a pleasure having you on board anyway, and the rest of the flight was kind of fun. Anyway. I blame my first officer, and I blame society. And I'll see you next time.